Well. What do we have here? So I believe this is in reference to. I'm trying to remember the CEOs. What it was? Discord, Reddit, YouTube, and there's another social media platform that was called in to testify for oversight, generally speaking. And we can only assume just like the complete utter stupid fucking nonsense. Like, let's be honest, the complete utter fucking nonsense that the Republicans probably asked of these like CEOs. Probably being like more particularly, I don't know, obsessed with like whatever censorship campaigns or some other fucking nonsense or whatever stupid bullshit that's been pushed by the Republicans in order to, I don't know, accommodate to their conspiratorial dipshit base, who seemingly is just completely and utterly afraid of any form of engagement or whatever other complete nonsense and just like fear responses that they have. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The reason, for example, a lot of conservatives tend to get completely, I guess for like lack of a better term, get blown the fuck out in terms of TOS violations is because of the inherent ideology of conservatism. Since it is as inherently violent as it is, it leads to particular sort of outcomes where they have like just consistently break the TOS. But since a lot of companies and social media companies in particular want to make money, they can't make too much of a stink about it and basically try to ban every single conservative, because if companies were applying their TOS consistently, all of them would be consistently getting banned. We all know about this from the Twitter files. Chaya Raichik of Libs of TikTok got special treatment from the internals, and this was back when Jack Dorsey was running Twitter. They got fucking special treatment about what was going on because they knew if she got banned when she should have been, she was like literally doxing people and helping orchestrate bomb threats on hospitals, for God's sake. She would have been canned. In any other instance, if the TOS was being applied consistently, she would have made a big free speech stink about it for no reason, despite the fact that private corporations do not have to adhere with the First Amendment. The First Amendment pertains to the government cracking down on your speech. If a private company wants to crack down on your speech by violating their values, the culture of the company, or plainly speaking, it's a lot more difficult for them to make money because of your complete utter belligerence with speech, in terms of hate speech in particular. And they want to ban you for it, they could ban you for it. They don't, fuck you, eat shit, die. It's not a fucking goddamn, First Amendment issue. Get owned, stupid idiot conservative. Who the fuck gives a shit about any of that stuff? But, we have Jim Jordan going with some fuck shit here. What do we have here? YouTube is being forced to have to reinstate a lot of previously kicked off personalities. And I believe this is more than likely in a reference to the fact that a lot of them were peddling COVID misinformation and conspiracy theories, right? And here's the fucking problem. Let's be fucking honest here. The main issue with that in particular is if you do not have a TOS, for example, like Gab, like 8kun, like 8chan, what exactly happens? It is a restrictor on speech. People won't be able to practice certain particular kinds of speech because they will just be harassed out of the fucking room, for example, right? And this is the exact same problem with a lot of the current sort of social media companies that are trying to adopt more sort of free, open, free speech kind of ideas, like Twitter, like Facebook. A lot of people are going to inherently leave the platform, and it's eventually just going to turn into, well, a far-right infested shithole with either a dipshit spamming porn, just random bots spamming random fucking crap, and the site basically becomes unusable. You can't use the site then, because no one's going to want to participate in it if it's just going to be a lot of dishonest morons and dipshits going in there and just being like, well, you're just like a stupid pedophile rapist because you're on the left or something. It's like you're not even engaging with like any of the points or like whatever. Like, fuck off with that bullshit. So again, it's one of those things where it's just like spare me at conservatives. Like, you people are the main people in particular that make it such that it is way, way, way more difficult to be able to engage in those like particular things of speech. But what do we have here? Statement of facts submitted on behalf of our client Alphabet, subsidiary YouTube, in response to subpoenas. Throughout the committee's investigations, Alphabet provided responsive information to the committee to fulfill its oversight responsibilities, providing internal records and providing extensive testimony, including more than 40 sets of responsive documents and the voluntary participation of 20 executives. Alphabet is a collection of businesses. The company committed to doing its part to continue to keep the digital ecosystem safe, reliable, and open to free expression. The problem with this is very often conservatives will twist the sort of openness, quote unquote, to free expression in particular, for example, in order to be able to, well, gain power and then pull the ladder from up under themselves. They will shout down, they will try to cancel people for their speech. When it comes to fucking goddamn conservatives, there are no standards to this. They don't give a shit about any of this. They are inherently fucking dishonest when engaging with speech. Like, inherently fucking dishonest. Towards a political particular viewpoint, it's not in line with the company's values or the company's business interests. Alphabet's business model depends on being a useful source of information for everyone and home for users of all backgrounds. As a result, Alphabet is a natural long-term business incentive to apply and develop its policies consistently, impartially, and independently. I don't know. Go MAGA, go broke. I mean, we all know about all the companies that have been consistently capitulating to Donald Trump and his like stupid, idiotic belligerence and nonsense, and they've all been significantly losing profit share as a result of that. So I mean, that's cool, great. Committee appreciates accountability from the White House Judiciary Committee led by Jim Jordan. Keep in mind, by the way, Jim Jordan had a role to play in terms of covering up, pedophile scandals within Ohio State fucking University. So that's cool, great, fantastic. Like, I don't know, it's complete, utter fucking nonsense. The company has a commitment to freedom of expression. This commitment is unwavering and will not bend to political pressure. Here's the thing. Like, I believe that YouTube recently just loosened up a lot of their restrictions to accommodate further and further for fucking conservatives. Like, again, in terms of, like, the biggest fucking goddamn DEI fucking hires and DEI proponents, it's fucking conservatives. They love DEI. They love DEI for fucking white people. If it means that, I don't know, black people can just like suffer more because they just want to be the ones on top. For them, fundamentally speaking, it's all about maintenance of hierarchy and control. That's what it is for them. COVID-19 pandemic was an unprecedented time in which online platforms had to reach decisions about how to best balance freedom of expression with responsibility. Because this is one of the main cruxes of the issue. For example, conservatives, the reason why they got banned off of YouTube, and I believe it is correct for them to be banning the shit out of all the conservatives, in particular in terms of spreading COVID misinformation, is because how many people died, again, of COVID within the United States of America? I think it was about 1 million people. How many people died of COVID in the U.S.? Over 100 million confirmed cases. I believe it is over 1.2 million. Worldometer, COVID cases, 111 million. Deaths, 1.2 million people. Now, of course, that's also to account for later COVID deaths, because eventually COVID deaths were still occurring even after the pandemic subsided. So let's give the most steel-manned position possible for conservatives and say it is about 1.1 million deaths, because it was over a million when the COVID-19 pandemic was occurring. A lot of people died of COVID within the United States of America. They had the highest mortality rate, broadly speaking. Lowest population of the world, the highest global mortality amount from COVID-19. Very, very cool, Trump. Very, very good work. Senior Biden administration officials, including White House officials, conducted repeated and sustained outreach to Alphabet and pressed the company regarding certain user-generated content related to the COVID-19 pandemic that did not violate its policies. While the company continued to develop and enforce its policies independently, Biden administration officials continued to press the company to remove non-volatile, user-generated content. Interesting. So it was just the Biden administration made suggestions. Like, that's it. That's what it is. Like, now conservatives are going to say that fucking the main reason why all those people who got banned around like 2020 and 2021 for spreading COVID misinformation, outright misinformation and lies, like, you know, the ibuprofen bullshit, you know, the horse dewormer, yada yada, fucking bullshit, and a bunch of other COVID misinformation, like, you know, the stupid, I don't know, fucking bleaching of the veins, injecting bleach for fuck's sake in order to try to kill COVID cells, because, I mean, that was something that the President of the United States fucking said himself, so, brilliant. Thank you, conservatives. That's why they got fucking banned. They spread, and they openly knowingly spread misinformation about COVID-19. So, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's just like, spare me at conservatives. Like, you guys are the main ones who are basically making the sort of pandemic worse as a result. Like, it is what it is. Like, you people are the fucking problem. Like, you guys are the ones who peddle conspiracy theories like it's no one's business. So, I don't know, a bunch of idiot fucking bullshit nonsense. So, whatever. Senior Biden officials, as online platforms including Alphabet grappled with these decisions, the administration's officials, including President Biden, created a political atmosphere and sought to influence the actions of platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. So, like, they didn't, like, suggest any policies. They just put some pressure on there saying, like, hey, can you do something about all these guys who are spreading knowing misinformation? Like, that's fine. I think that's okay. I have no problem with people basically trying to stop the spread of knowing misinformation, because, again, like I've said before, spreading knowing misinformation or hate speech is a way to shut off free speech. Yes, you are free to fucking say all this stuff, but you should not be free from the fucking consequences that are associated with that. It's just, as far as I'm seeing right now, this is so far a capitulation here by Alphabet to the Trump administration. Unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate the company moderates content. Blah, 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 blah. No matter the political atmosphere, YouTube will continue to enable free expression on its platform, particularly as it relates to issues subject to political debate. Political debate and discussion are in the public's interest, which is why YouTube expanded its approach to educational, documentary, scientific, and artistic content on the platform. Yeah, basically, again, we need DEI for fucking conservatives. Because otherwise, if we apply the TOS rather consistently, they'd all get fucking banned every single time. YouTube has not operated a fact-checking program. Oh, so they're going to try to... so they're basically going to try to have people do fact-checking for them. Yeah, as far as I can tell, they're going to have like a community notes kind of a deal. So that's cool. Has also began offering a feature on YouTube beginning in June 2024 that allows users to add notes. Yeah, right there. That's the community notes feature. Again, the reason why a lot of companies are doing the fucking goddamn community notes features is because they want to defer moderation to, well, users instead of having a moderation team. So again, a lot of companies are okay with that because they get to save money to not have to run as much moderation. Like, that's why they're overall okay with stuff like this. It's not a good thing overall. Like, yeah, you can talk about, well, actually, community notes on Twitter has been really, really good. I don't think it's a good thing because Elon Musk implemented the community note system as an express way to not have to have as much fucking goddamn moderation on the platform, which is why it is as bad as it is right now. Again, like I've said before, if you open a new fucking account on Twitter, like, the likelihood you're gonna get like a Sonenrad fucking edit meme in like an hour is like 95%, because it's, again, like I said before, the people who come onto this fucking platform to spread their ideas of free speech and are okay with just like harassing other people who push back against that off of the fucking platform, that is not inherently beneficiary to free speech. That is an inherent impediment to free speech. Because again, conservatives do not care at all about free speech. They don't give a fuck about any of that shit at all whatsoever. Terminated channels for repeatedly violating its community guidelines on elections integrity content throughout 2023 and COVID-19 content through 2024. Today, the community guidelines will allow for a wider range of content regarding COVID-19 and elections integrity. They're doing this to accommodate to all the stupid conspiratorial morons who are spreading active misinformation. By the way, if you want to see how a fucking new apocalypse is going to happen, this is how it fucking happens. Because broadly speaking, advertisers are not going to want to advertise on channels within YouTube or on YouTube in general if they allow for, well, let's be honest here, known misinformation to be allowed to continually fucking spread. That's the issue. Reflecting on the company's committed to free expression, YouTube will provide an opportunity for all creators to rejoin the platform if the company terminated their channels for repeated violations of COVID-19 elections integrity policies that are no longer in effect. So it's because they're no longer in effect. But, I mean, the problem is that it doesn't have to be elections integrity or COVID-19 policies, right? I mean, again, it makes sense why a platform would do this. These are temporary policies that they took off, let's be honest here, to try to combat all the ridiculous bullshit that conservatives were spreading. But the real root cause and root basis for as to why YouTube is doing this in particular is, well, it's for the express purpose of trying to accommodate for fucking conservatives who are more likely to spread those types of conspiracy theories. That's the main issue here. Values conservative voices on its platforms, I'm sure. Committee has taken important investigative steps to highlight this, that onerous obligations under law such as the Digital Service Acts and Digital Markets Acts may stifle innovation and restrict access to information. These laws place a disproportionate regulatory burden on American companies. Oh, I'm sure. And the company has long expressed its concern, the risk that the DSA, not the Democratic Socialists of America, okay, it's the Digital Service Act, may pose to freedom of expression within and outside of the European Union. Depending on how certain provisions may be enforced, the DSA could be interpreted in such a way to require Alphabet and other providers of intermediary service to remove lawful content, jeopardizing the company's ability to develop and enforce global policies that support rights of free expression and access to information. The DSA may open avenues for substantive regulation of lawful speech, including through risk mitigation, the use of codes of conduct and crisis protocols, and the out-of-court dispute settlement mechanism. Alphabet remains mindful of these risks and continues to be vigilant in its defense of these rights. So, I don't know, conservative DEI. YouTube also admits that Biden amid censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. Did they say that? I don't think they said that, Jim Jordan. I think that's you narrativizing a little bit, buddy. I don't think so. Biden admin wanted Americans censored for speech that did not violate YouTube's policies. No, that is inaccurate. They did violate YouTube's temporary policies that they had put in place at the time, and they are saying that now that these temporary policies are being removed because they feel like it's not needed. Honestly, they're only saying that simply due to the fact that they're trying to accommodate to the Trump administration to not get any fucking regulations on them, to not have Trump go after them, and to have more fucking conservative voices on there, despite the fact that if the TOS was applied evenly on conservatives, they would get banned 10 times out of 10. Details when YouTube began rolling back its censorship policies and political speech after the judiciary, GOP, began its investigation. Censorship that I think is fine, right? Certain parts of censorship is okay. I do not think that there should be people openly advocating for conspiracy theories about the 2020 fucking election and just lying about it, because Trump is still lying about the fucking 2020 election to this day. I think is a bad thing for those policies to be revoked, because now Trump is going to use that as like a potential justification to stay in for another fucking goddamn term. Again, YouTube is only capitulating here to the Trump administration because they're fucking cowards and they just don't want to have any bullshit to deal with from the fucking FCC. That's really about it. Promises to never use third-party fact-checkers. Warns that European censorship laws target American companies and threaten American speech. I know that you're not very intelligent, Jim Jordan, and that Republicans are also not very intelligent. Again, this is the same dude who helped cover up a fucking a rape scandal at Ohio State University. So that's cool. That's great. But other platforms and other countries have their own particular laws. They are their own sovereign countries who have their own rules on fucking speech in terms of conspiracism that is, broadly speaking, spread within those fucking countries, which means they are more than likely going to ban them, which is correct. So, for example, you say a bunch of Nazi shit, for example, in Germany, more than likely, you're going to get some fucking visits from some rather interesting federal characters. Because it's just like, oh, we hear that you are spreading Nazism within Germany, trying to spread that shit into Germany. We are going to have some speaking with you because that is bad. We do not allow any of that bullshit. Even though like the AfD still exists within Germany, whatever. It's complete nonsense, dude. But yeah, as far as I can tell, like the only reason why YouTube, let's be fucking honest here, is capitulating and is giving in specifically to the Trump administration is because they don't want the vindictive, stupid morons that are currently within the FCC or the DOJ going after them, because for them, it's all about the gravy train. It's all about the fucking money with these corporations overall. So if that means having to capitulate to a bunch of idiot nonsense fascists and morons, and that means to, well, I would broadly argue and say inhibit free speech, then they will gladly take that if that means that they can keep making more and more money. So spare me it, fucking conservatives. You people are the main issues. If any TOS was applied evenly, all of you motherfuckers would have been instantly gone from every social media platform, because consistently you would have broken all of them. Social media companies have had to bend over backwards to accommodate for you people. Like, let's be fucking honest here. So, again, spare me conservatives. There's a reason why the TOS exists, and that is as a sort of guardrail. Because again, if you simply just allow idiotic fucking hate speech and harassment and bullying of people off of platforms, that is how free speech dies, fundamentally speaking. But then again, in reality, conservatives have never cared about fucking free speech. They are totally okay with free speech dying, but using it as a cudgel in order to get into power and then pull that ladder from up under them. This is consistent with conservative behavior. They are charlatans and liars, and in reality have never cared about free speech.